So, are you guys wondering how you can use the same tools that companies like Amazon, Netflix, and Venmo are using in your own personal lives to help you optimize it and get more out of it? Well, in this video, what I'm going to be sharing with you are the tools and tactics those companies are using and how you guys can apply them in your own personal lives. It's Adam over at Teach You Freedom. Thank you so much for joining me on today's mastery lesson. Today, we're going to be talking about how to apply principles and techniques and tactics from a book called Blue Ocean Strategies into your own personal life. I truly firmly believe that if we ran our lives a little bit more like businesses, we get a lot more out of it and find a lot more pleasure and success in the things that we do in our personal lives. Now, Blue Ocean Strategy is a concept designed to help you increase market share where there is no market share right now, right? Basically, it's asking you to get out of the red waters or the bloody waters of competitive business marketplace right now into your own blue ocean where there is no competition and you kind of have access to all the market share and the people in it. To give you some examples of what that looks like, these are companies like Amazon, Netflix, who had a completely original idea, completely deviated from the competition of everybody else battling for the same customers and created their own space. Now Amazon really has no competition. Netflix really has very few competitors in the marketplace and had a long time having their own, unique spot in the marketplace. And we can apply these same principles to our personal lives as well, and that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. There's 4 factors that they talk about when it comes to Blue Ocean Strategy that we can use and apply to our lives. Eliminate, reduce, raise up, and create new. Okay? So the first factor I want to talk to you guys about today is eliminate, right? In the book, they talk about how companies have always done things because they've always done things, and they continue to do things because they've always done them. But sometimes that's not the best way to go. For example, when airplanes all had first class flights, even though they were losing money and it wasn't really the most economic way to transport people, even though they were paying a higher price, all airlines offered some type of first class or premium pricing. Nowadays, very few and far between airlines offer first class seating with bigger cabin space and whatnot. Most of them are economy or coach seats because you can make more money that way, but people didn't do it because everybody else had first class. Now it's the norm to not have first class. In our personal lives, there's a lot of things that we've done because we've always done them, and we continue to do them because we've always done that. I want you guys to take audit of things in your lives that you continue to do just because you've always done it. Right? This could be in your relationships, your habits, the activities that you do, the way you eat, anything like that you guys continue to do just because you've always done it. An opportunity that I'm working on that I've done because I've always done, and I've never thought twice about it, is saying yes to people. Right? My whole life I've always been a yes man. I've always said yes. I've had a hard time saying no just to please people. And something I've worked on over the past few years is really saying no. Not saying yes all the time. And what happens when you say no is your yes becomes more powerful. So just an example of things that I've eliminated from my life that have helped me become happier, more productive, and better in touch with my own personal goals. Now, the second thing that they talk about in the Blue Ocean Strategy book is reduce, right? These are things that you don't always want to eliminate completely. They're healthy in some moderation, but you'd benefit from reducing them significantly. One of my mentors told me that we spend major time on minor things, right? And that's what this reduce principle is getting at. Don't spend major time on minor things, right? In the car industry, right? If you're selling a Ford Focus, why do you need to put a Porsche engine in a Ford Focus, right? Do you really need top quality brake lines in a Ford Focus, or can you get by with the status quo? Do you need the shiny, bells and whistles on a Ford Focus, or can you get by with the status quo, right? There's a lot of areas in life where we can dumb things down and really reduce them and still get the same type of quality of product. In our personal lives, something that I want you guys to think about are what are some areas that you could reduce in that would give you significant time back in your day or help create a better, more progress in your lives. For me, the things that I've reflected on are things like social media, right? Partying, going out, wasting time on the internet, or dilly-dallying, distracting myself. There's a lot of places like that where we're wasting a lot of time and spending major time on minor things, right? Reduce the amount of time you spend on your phone or using social media. Reduce the amount of time you go out and party or hang out late with friends. I'm not saying that these things are bad, in moderation, but sometimes we get so consumed with them and spend a lot more time than we actually should on these activities. So think about some of those things that you could reduce and then make a game plan to go ahead and reduce them. The third thing that the book talks about is the raise up factor, right? I think this one is probably the most important. The raise up factor are places where you can spend a little bit of extra time and get exponential results, okay? These are things like in our personal lives, where's an area where you can invest a little bit more time and get much better results? These are things like sleep, right? These are things like working out. These are things like self-care, right? When you talk about sleep, everybody thinks we need to be sleep deprived and have as many hours during the day as we can as possible. But if you would just sleep an extra 30 minutes to an hour, think about how much productivity you'll get back in the day, right? Think about how much more focused, energized, and just a pleasant person you'll be if you slept a little bit more. I'm not asking you guys to get another 3 hours of sleep, but if you invested a little bit more time in your sleep, think about how much you would get output from doing that, right? Think about working out, right? Spend 30 minutes a day working out. If you worked out, not only are you more energized in the moment and for the rest of the day, but think about the exponential gains that will compound for your health from a longevity standpoint just by investing a little bit of time each day. One of the ones that I've recently implemented is a self-care routine, right? Similar to when you're working out, what you're doing is you're actually breaking down muscle, but the way you get stronger is you let your body recover. If you're never recovering, how can you be your best self and continue to grow? And a self-care routine that I've implemented is just 15 to 20 minutes a day of doing things for me that end up helping me recover, feel better about myself, and then allow me to grow and be better in the future. So that's just a couple examples of the raise up factor that I think would be really important to help us apply not only in business but also to our personal lives. The last one that I want to talk to you guys about is the create new, right? And I think Apple's a great example of this in the business world. Give people something that they don't know that they already need, right? I never knew I wanted AirPods until Apple created them and told me I wanted them, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing, right? Another create new factor that Apple came out with was iTunes, right? Beforehand, you had to go buy a whole album or a CD just to get one song that you want to listen to. Then they started offering digital songs in a marketplace where you can buy one song at a time, right? That's a completely new factor that nobody had thought of before, and it really gave them a competitive advantage in the marketplace. In your own lives, what are some areas of opportunity that you could create new space and that you haven't had before, didn't even think you needed before? One of the areas that I'm working on and committed to in the new year as well is building a sense of community, right? I think a lot of us as entrepreneurs, go-getters, people who are always trying to get better, think that it's a lonely road and that you have to do everything by yourself. Well, the reality is that you'll go much farther and have a better quality of life when you do it with other people. And so one of the things I'm cultivating in the new year is a sense of community, a sense of otherness, and a sense of using people as fuel to help us achieve a common mission and go farther rather than just go quickly by myself. So those are the 4 factors from the book Blue Ocean Strategy that I want to share and how you guys can apply them to your personal lives. Again, those factors are eliminate, reduce, raise up, and create new. I hope you guys like this. If you guys enjoy content like this and want to see more of it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel down below. I post stuff like this all the time from Teach You Freedom. Also visit our website at www.teachyoufreedom.com. You get access to the newsletter, more blog posts, and a ton of free content. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you soon.